But yeah, like everything else on this card, nothing got enough time. It felt very, very apparent. And are we moving on to the main event? Because
Yeah.
that's a good segue. Because speaking of matches that didn't get enough time,
The main event of the evening was the match number 7 of the best of 7 series between the Elite and Death Triangle in a, how do you say it in Spanish?
Escalera de Escalera de la Muerte.
There we go. The ladder match, but apparently
A
they just
death
jumped
ladder
right to
match.
throwing all the tables out there too.
Because it's a death ladder match, Jeremy. It's not a ladder match. It's a death ladder match. It's
Well,
different.
some people choose to die one way, some people choose to die another, which is why I saved my hardest hit of the night for one of the thing I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. Kenny Omega did his Terminator run and dive over the top rope to a table that was at ringside, but Pac moved out of the way, and Kenny put himself through the table by jumping over the top rope. Yep. I've seen it in the corners with like spears where somebody dodges it, that kind of thing. Not sure I've ever seen somebody put themselves through a table this way though.
I don't think so either. That was and the whole time I'm thinking about his back because I'm old. I was like, my back hurts right now just looking at what happened.
Plus, at this point, commentary had already talked about, because you could see it on his eyes still a little bit, his battle that he had with Will Ospreay and then traveling from Japan. Like, his body had to already be hurting.
Yeah, because I watched that match between him and Will Ospreay. And I wish I didn't know the outcome.
That's the only thing I'd change.
If I didn't know the outcome of the match, probably best match I've ever watched. Like most memorable. If I didn't already know the outcome.
And they said they held back.
Mm-hmm.
They held back because of the fact that they know they're going to have more matches and they want to build to something bigger.
Wow. Yeah, see, I didn't even know about that. But if these two held back, I saw Will Ospreay's body after.
Oh yeah.
No home. Yeah, he looked like he was beat the fuck up. Like if they stood, they got more. Just don't end up in the hospital, guys.
I don't think it's necessarily more and crazy. I think it might be more in terms of they have long-term story planned with just their matches. Like how they'll grow from 1 to 1. Like, will Ospreay be the first person to kick out of Kenny's one-winged angel? Like, they might use like a story beat like that, or do they pull even and now Ospreay destroys, like, he beats Kenny? Or is the story that Ospreay's going to keep trying and has to surpass Kenny? I don't like. They'll try to make a story out of it in just the ring, as well as do different types of crazy things.
Yeah. Because, good God, yeah, I'm getting off track talking about that match because this was a great match tonight. I just wish it had gotten enough time for me to be like, oh my God.
Every promo could have been cut in half tonight, and they would have been able to give a couple more minutes every match, and would have made a huge difference.
Yep. Yeah, because this match getting less than 15 minutes wasn't cool. But
when it
they made it work though.
When it would have probably been a 25 to 30 match on a pay-per-view.
Yeah, I was gonna say this would have been 25 minimum on pay-per-view.
Depending on how the card's shaking out and what's the hottest matches, if it's given one of those like high main event spots, it might go even a bit longer. But
Holy spots.
Uh, right
There's
off.
so many.
Yeah, because like right after Pac moved out of the way for Kenny going through a table, he was resting up against another table, and Matt jumped off the turnbuckle and like cross-bodied him through the table that's right next to it.
Yep.
That was the first commercial break. um,
I don't have a ton of notes on this one. I just sat back and watched. But
I just remember some of those holy shit spots that you were mentioning.
I'm gonna say there was some holy shits in there. I remember there was Nick did a 450 onto was it Penta?
He did through Penta
on
from
the table.
Yep.
Yeah, through Penta on a table.
Inside the ring to out, by the way.
Yeah, inside the ring, outside the ring, through a table. Holy fuck. I mean, there was like a quick sequence right there, because I think that didn't something else happen right there? Damn it.
Right after that, I think is when Kenny went to go into the ring to start to climb, and Pac grabbed the hammer and smashed his hand.
Okay, yeah, that's what came up next. Pac finally brought that hammer out. You know the hammer had to come out for this.
Oh yeah. I mean, there were some more normal ones. Like it kind of feels crazy to think that's tame, but Matt did his locomotive Northern Lights suplexes with the final one landing on the ladder that's propped up in the corner. Like those ones, you kind of expect those ones now. So there's a lot more than what we just said. Ugly, ugly things.
Yeah.
Fear factor on the bridge ladder.
That fear factor on the ladder. Yeah, that one. Because if you don't get his head between the the rungs of the ladder, you just broke his neck.
Well, I think when you land that, you kind of do like a pile driver where your body's lower than his head.
Oh yeah.
But then Kenny actually on that same bridge ladder lifts up Phoenix and does a one-winged angel off of it. Then while he's on the mat is when Pac goes for the black arrow, but Kenny gets his knees up, so now Phoenix is down and Pac is out of the ring. Kenny is able to slowly climb up, and I wasn't sure what the heck was going on because it feels like he was stalling for them to get up and stop him.
Yeah, I thought somebody was either gonna stop him or he was like hoping that the Bucks were coming with him or something. Like maybe he didn't want to grab him on his own.
Yeah.
And then they mentioned earlier that, as long as one belt has been grabbed, then it's a win.
Yeah. So then he starts fighting with him, but eventually pulls one down, and at this point it's at least a minute or so after 10, so we were kind of surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Back at home, you figured this would have had the big celebration live on TV, right?
Right. No. I guess because they won the belts already before, maybe.